What's up, everybody? RCP live at Riverwatch. Well, not live, actually. I take that back. But we're here at Riverwatch. Great place. Love Riverwatch. One of the cornerstones of Essex area. With Thunderball, with Will, Andy, and Dougie Fresh from Thunderball. How you doing, guys? Thank you for doing it. I apologize. I did not order this weather in the middle of May. I apologize.
Hey, it's a Thunderball special.
Well, that's going to happen anyways. You know,
well, it's
sooner or later.
So let's get started, and basically we'll just start right at the beginning. I guess let's talk about how you came up with the name Thunderball, and kind of a little bit about the band.
Name Thunderball came from...
Just got to be PG? Or?
It can be, no.
I mean, I wasn't around for the incarnation, so I don't know.
Understand,
but
nothing we do is PG. Nothing we do is PG.
Everyone I work with calls it Thunder Nuts.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, they've never seen us, but...
All we just get is balls.
I always remind people that it's singular.
Oh.
Exactly. No, nothing more than the idiot that thought of it. This is a James Bond movie freak, so I thought, that's a cool name, because Goldfinger's taken, so we can't do that one, but Thunderball, I think, is even cooler, so.
All right.
Done.
So, if somebody come out here for the first time tonight, wanted to hang around and see the band, what are they going to see?
Polka. Lots and lots of polka.
We have a trumpet player.
Like jazz.
I have
Get music.
Smooth jazz.
Smooth jazz.
No, you get everything. You might get some of that stuff.
Literally everything.
Yeah, literally everything. You want some rock and roll? We might have one or two. Rock and roll, modern, classic, whatever you need. Country, yeah.
Yes, I have seen some of the country.
Yes, you've seen some of the country. And, of course, we got the dance stuff. And, again, we got the old stuff. We got the new stuff. You like your 70s? Come check us out. You like the 90s? Come check us out. You want some modern stuff? Come check us out.
It's fun to play because it's funk, rock. I mean, you cover like everything. You know, so you're not getting stuck playing one thing on it.
Everybody can get to see what they want out of the show.
Well, that's one thing people usually say is you just don't know what we're going to play next, and we go from playing Johnny Cash to playing Rage Against the Machine, and
to James Brown,
to James Brown, whatever,
to Ozzy.
So I was at a show with you not long after, which now it's been a little over a year now, after Prince passed away.
Yes.
And I saw the passion that you had over the passing of Prince and the influence that Prince had in things that you do. What from Prince does have you brought into and integrated into Thunderball?
I steal almost everything from Prince. I had a bunch of guys actually, but the vocals. It was one of those things that's such an influence over what I did musically. You know, it started out in bands even when I was a kid. Playing different things and playing different types of music, playing jazz, rock and roll, etc. And then when I kind of gravitated, I heard that stuff for the first time. That was like, I've been missing that. That's the missing piece. So all of it, the performance, definitely the performance aspect. I mean, he was definitely the showman, and that's one of the things. I mean, like for me, the showmanship is what I've always gravitated to with a lot of bands, certainly with Prince and The Time and Van Halen.
I believe Doug, you're from Pennsylvania originally, right? But you two are from Baltimore, correct?
I'm originally from near Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is a nice place to be from.
Yes, I've been. Well, you've all been in the local music scene for quite a long time in this area.
Did he just call us old? I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't an old joke. No.
Experience.
But experience. Yes. What do you think has been the evolution of the music scene since you got into it till now?
Okay, I'll jump in that. The Baltimore music scene has been, for me, very interesting to watch. I think the thing that I've seen grow positively is the camaraderie with the local musicians, like you just mentioned here tonight. We all know different people in different bands. Doug helps out and plays with a lot of these different bands. We all go support each other, and there's just a ton of good music around in the quote-unquote cover scene, the quote-unquote original scene, etc. But all of that stuff has grown. I think there was a point there, and I look back at, let's say, my parents and the older generations, and I look at what the scene was and what I saw it was as a kid outside looking in.
Right.
And there wasn't a lot going on. Apparently it used to be huge. Like Baltimore was one of the places you go see live music, national stuff or local. And that died. And it's slowly, it has peaks and valleys, and I think we're coming out of the valleys and getting to one of the peaks again. At least I hope so. We're trying to do what we can to make that happen.
I think one of the things I've noticed, just being from where I grew up, it was a huge music scene as well. And I moved here about 25 years ago. But even in that time, it's one of the things that noticed is just it's very competitive. Even at the level that we perform, there's just so many bands that want to play, and good bands. And there's unfortunately not as many places.
Not enough pieces.
Yeah.
Not enough pieces of pie for everybody.
But we've been very fortunate, and we're very appreciative.
I've been kind of happy to see bands doing away with basically every band playing. Like when I was 21 and would go out and see bands, like it didn't matter what band I went to see, I was going to see the same cover songs every night from the same band. And it's refreshing to see that, even though it is cover music, to see something different, just learn to spice it up a little bit and still have the crowd enjoy what you're doing. And I've done the original thing too in the area, and it's tough. The original thing is really tough in this area right now.
Yeah.
It's just not a great.
Okay, you read the book because you're leading into my next question. My next question, I know you've done original stuff. I know you've done original stuff. I believe you've done some original stuff as well. And now we're in a scene now where you're right. The scene wants the cover bands. They want. Yes, they've gotten away from, like, I guess when I was growing up, there was a lot of clubs that were DJ clubs. Now they don't want the DJs, they want the bands in the club.
Right.
They want somebody else playing those songs besides just a DJ spinning them.
Right.
But they, at the same time, want the songs everybody drove in their radio hearing to get to the club and not an original.
Right.
Doesn't that hurt music, though, overall, like that?
I mean, I guess that's relative to what you consider hurt.
Well,
You know what I mean? Because
I guess I look at if you stop writing original music, then music dies.
Well, all that happens is people are spoon-fed whatever the FM radio plays you, so that's what you learn to like, and people are inherently lazy now, so you don't want to go outside of your comfort zone to find music that is actually better than what you're spoon-fed. So it's sort of the way the industry's kind of made it.
I think too, part of it is, when you go to see a cover band, for the most part, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get songs you recognize. You're going to get up and dance, or you're going to, whatever you're going to do and enjoy it. But if you go see an original act, you're really not sure what to expect. So it's almost like, you're driving through a new town, and are you hesitant to stop and eat at, you heard this a really nice Hawaiian restaurant or something, versus, well, hey, there's a McDonald's. You know what you're getting.
Right.
There's no guesswork. So, and I think that's a big part of it. And for club owners who have to make a buck and make a living, they have to put on the table what people are going to come for.
I guess what I'd like to see is cover bands that are doing original stuff to where maybe one or two songs per set you throw in a cover, kind of to break. Like, for instance, we talked a little bit ago about how you'll go from Rage Against the Machine to Johnny Cash. So maybe you set your setup where you have a little bit of Johnny Cash, you have an original break to break it up, and then you get into your next set. And nobody's none the wiser that you kind of flowed into the set that way. Well, yes, I'm getting to that.
This is one of the things I was going to say when you talked about how the local scene has changed. When I was frontman for a band called None the Wiser, one of the we weren't as successful as we'd like to have been. We played at a lot of the typical clubs, but one of the things we got from various places that we had too much variety. People didn't know what to expect. Okay. People were looking for, they wanted to go hear a rock band, or they wanted to hear a metal band, they wanted to hear, and now, like we said, one of the things people compliment us on is how much variety we do. So I think that's one way that tastes have changed. People are a lot more open. I think a lot of it is because, due to the internet and due to, all that kind of stuff, you just have access to so much different music, and people are just exposed to a lot more, so they enjoy it a lot more. Hopefully, that might be the next natural step, is that people are a lot more accepting of a band that, comes in and plays all this variety,
Right.
but also if they have talented songwriters in the band, that they're a little more accepting of hearing an original song or two.
I agree, and I think it's exposure. I think I went through that on the original side. Again, same thing. You go out and you do these gigs, and people would come out and they support the bands. It wasn't a whole lot of clubs
Right.
to do the original stuff, so you weren't really making any money, but you get your stuff out there. People were buying CDs, so we're selling CDs. We're drawing an audience, we're gathering a following, and we'd play a certain amount of covers to kind of fill the night and kind of give you a little sample of something, and all I kept hearing was, man, that's cool, but wish you guys would do so many covers. But okay, and then to do this, I would always hear, you guys ever do anything original? And I was like, no. And I was like, I want to. And it's like, now, I've got stuff in my back pocket. I think we all do.
Right.
And I'm always, if you ever come when we're setting up, you'll hear Kevin, the guitar player, goof around and warm up, and he just starts coming up with riffs. And ever since we were in a band years ago, and we would rehearse, he'd do that. And I'm just like, let's write that. Because we would come up with these grooves, and it was like, well, cool, let's record it. Nah. So
But part of the problem with that is you do it, and you're not thinking about it. I do that with the drums.
Yeah.
Hey, what'd you just do? I don't know. I wasn't paying
Exactly,
attention to it.
exactly.
I just sort of made it up as I was
Exactly.
going.
I think part of it too is sometimes you feel like, it's the effort it takes, and even you have limited time to work on the music itself.
Sure.
And if you feel like you're going to spend all this time putting original music together, and it's really not going to be accepted, or
Well, the pressure is on, and the pressure just gets harder as years go along, because how many thousands, millions of songs have been written where
Yeah.
you're trying to write something different that is
Right. It's like the
Exactly.
creativity now has been taken from writing original to changing the arrangement of a cover so
Right.
that it's different from how another band has done it. So that
Right.
that's where the hitch is to that
Right.
band is changing the arrangement of a cover in a cover song instead of writing your own. That the creativity.
I think one of the things that we try, at least I try and do with the band, is I'll learn the structure of cover songs and whatnot, but I'll still try and put my own flavor into
yeah, I think
fills and whatever. Everyone does that, just to sort of try and get our own little twist.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that makes the difference. That's where, even when you have, and we talked a minute ago about all the different bands and, the same set lists, there's still going to be that, collection of songs that you can go and you're always going to hear 4 out of 5 bands and are playing. They're all going to have either.
Correct.
I'm going to name the
I
song.
think I've only played Jesse's Girl 3 times in my life, and I'm so happy about that.
You're lucky.
You're seriously lucky.
Yeah, and I
played
still have
it
never learned this song.
1,000
I'm still
times.
kind of watching everybody when we play it.
between this band and the band that I fronted for a number of years, I figure I probably did about 400 shows, and I did Rebel Yell in every single one.
Wow.
And we still do it in every single night.
In fact, the gig we had 2 weeks ago, we were running out of time, and we hadn't done it, and we're like, all right, well, let's just skip Rebel Yell. I'm like, no, I can't. That's really.
He almost looked heartbroken, like it was
I know.
like skipping. No, we
It's
have
like,
to play
this
that.
is how I know the shit
was
went
like-
well. We got to play Rebel
It's
Yell.
like how Ripken must have felt when he ended his streak.
Right.
I know you were a frontman for a band before, and now doing the keys and everything else. What's the difference in being that to where you're the front to being a musical support to the band? I guess?
Well, nobody notices me.
wait, you can't be.
Nobody gives a shit.
Hold up. You can't be nicknamed MVP if no one notices you.
Oh, but that's not
The
his
band
only
notices an MVP, but I don't think anyone in the bar goes, holy shit, there's MVP.
Exactly.
He played the trumpet.
Well, see, I always say, being a guitar player is like a steam engine. People love to see steam engines because you see all that churning and you see the steam and the smoke and everything and all the power. And watching a keyboard player is watching a diesel engine. It's a box on wheels. It's just going. So I stand behind these things, and nobody really sees what's going on. And honestly, a lot of the hardest things that I have to do take place away from the stage,
Right.
Because with all the programming and finding the sounds and doing the arrangements. But honestly, for me personally, I found being a front man stressful.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I would definitely say I'm a lot more musician than I am showman.
Okay.
And it was very hard for me to talk to an audience, and like what Will does is just amazing to me because I have basically none of that.
I will say this: you do draw
absolutely.
What your personality and what you put on stage draws everybody into you. It really does. And that's. I mean, I always go. The biggest comparison in the way I look at as how a lead singer is are they David Lee Roth or are they Sammy Hagar? David Lee Roth was the showman. Sammy was
a little over showman at times. Did they
yeah,
about his karate or whatever?
Very true.
But he was the ultimate showman,
Yeah, exactly.
and Sammy cared more about the music and the vocals of it and everything else.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm like, okay, where does a lead singer fit in? And that's how I categorize when I look at lead singers is okay. And some of them have both. That a lot of the lead singers have both, but there are some out there that they use their showmanship as
To make
a way
up for the difference.
a way to bring everything in. But you guys are extremely high energy.
I love seeing a front man that can relate to the crowd and be a showman, but it not come across as fake. Like they're trying to, they know they have to say something to the crowd, so they use the run-of-the-mill.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, really? Yeah. I'm sorry, I wasn't around for that.
That's
But
all right. So no, that's the other thing I would say is for me personally, with my background, I was I went to college for music and studied music theory.
Right.
And so this is really me. This is just being really absorbed in the music and the arrangements and the chording and the
less stressful.
It's great for me. It's great.
But we glossed over one thing though, real quick. It's not MVP isn't your only nickname.
Oh, it's true.
Does he have another public?
Oh, that's the other thing. That's the other thing I was going to get into. I've read where you can verbatim say any part from The Godfather.
Well, that was a bit of an exaggeration.
Okay.
I could do some.
Okay.
Well, it doesn't make any difference to me how a man makes a living. But this music is dirty business.
I read this and I'm like, I got to throw that in there. Okay, so with that said, craziest story from the road. And again, it can be said. Who cares? It's,
Okay.
Craziest story from what?
The road.
From the road.
Wow.
It just depends on what you really want out there.
Exactly.
Right. It's all what you want out there.
I will have to volunteer that our previous drummer, we had a show in Annapolis.
Oh, this fits into what I told you. Okay, yes. This is even better than that.
Okay.
He lived in Bel Air, and we have a show in Annapolis, and it's 8:30. And our show starts at 9:30, and he's still not there. So we call him.
The drummer.
Yeah.
Who's
Yeah.
usually the first to get there.
He was at home on the couch. He forgot.
No.
That's like a nightmare for
So that
me,
was-
for the
Yeah,
guys
that was for all of us.
I think between that and our time at the one place in the outdoor place in Baltimore, where I think we played one song and the skies just opened up and poured down rain.
Oh.
And what was ironic is my brother, who's never seen the band because he lives in Oregon, just flew in that day and just showed up to the club and heard us play. It was a Prince song. I don't know what it was. He heard us play one song and that was it.
Wow.
That was that.
Wow. That is because we're here on a Saturday night. You all have families of various sorts that you could hang with, be spending time with, whatever. You've worked all week, and yet you take it to come out here to entertain people that you probably don't even know, in many cases. Mm-hmm. Where does that drive and motivation come from?
It keeps me sane.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Because it's like, it just keeps me sane. Because everyday life can suck sometimes, and this is like, the 3 hours you get up there, and I literally don't think about any of that shit.
So it's your break away,
Yeah.
Roy. Okay.
Pressure valve. That's,
Yeah, absolutely.
The day to day, and I was listening. I listen to all types of music, but I also listen to a lot of podcasts and comedy shows and such. And I was literally on the way over here listening to one with a bunch of comedians talking about, and I think comedians are the only people who can really relate to what musicians do on a day-to-day basis, of going out and just, in your early years of sitting in, you're not getting paid a dime, and just doing open mics and that sort of thing. And they talked about, man, it's 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 just crazy how you drive 2.5 hours to a place just to make 50 or $100, $150, and then drive 2.5 hours home. That's and the fact that we used to do that because they're all making money now.
Right.
It's like that's just crazy. And I'm riding, I'm like, yeah, I know that feeling.
I'll still bitch about it, but I wouldn't change it.
Wouldn't change it one iota. Love doing it because
Yeah, I mean, it sucks sometimes, but it's like, what else am I gonna do?
Right. I mean, for me, it's just to get to be able to just think about music, on such a higher order for a concentrated period of time, and to know. I mean, anytime, like I said, it's very fortunate to be getting the shows that we're getting, and I mean, anytime you get a chance to play music in front of people who are there because they want to hear you it's a trip. It really is a trip.
It just always amazes me because I'm like, these guys could be doing other things, and they don't. Look, you don't know if 200 people are going to be here tonight or if 2 people are going to be here tonight.
We give the same show because we've had literally just that, where it's a couple people or it's packed in just about any place, and Riverwatch is certainly one of them. What you can say.
Yes.
We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it's a crappy day all day today. People are going to stay home and stay cozy. That's all right. The people that came here will get a show, and even if nobody else shows up, we play some music, we have fun. I get to play with 4 other musicians that I really respect and like, and we just enjoy looking at each other going, ooh, that's nice. Or
Man,
or
you
what the
asleep?
hell? Yeah, exactly.
Were you asleep?
Doug, that's the
right.
10,000th drumstick you
right.
dropped tonight.
Well, yeah, I am taking out new hazard insurance now.
Oh yeah.
Where can everybody find you out on social media?
Okay. We are primarily, you'll see a lot of stuff, Facebook, obviously. Thunderballband.com is our website. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Plenty of fish.
Dougie.
Oh no, that's my joke. That's my joke. Like, don't for plenty of fish. I'm just saying that because I don't have a microphone back there. So
He does every night when I sing, and you can get us on that and tell them plenty of fish. I'm like, we can't.
You realize that Plenty of Fish is now trending. They're looking for you, Doug.
oh Christ, I hope not.
We're gonna get an endorsement.
They're not gonna find me on there.
really understand
Yeah.
that's what's happening now.
They'll find you.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
they will, but not on that.
We're going to make up an
Yeah.
account now.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were on Instagram, so I'm glad you did say
Yes.
that. You can also find any of their stuff on our Google Plus page. We have a link to their website. We got some other things coming up that we're going to have links to them as well, so you'll be able to get them. And you can also book through Starly
Through Starly, yep. Give us a quick shout out to Rob Byer at Starly as well, and because we are presently going to be working on a new video pretty soon. To kind
2
of
weeks,
yeah.
And we do drink. So like, if you want to come out and have a drink with us, that's really
We've
cool.
been known to imbibe a bit here
just
and
a
there.
little, occasionally.
Well, look, folks, come out to the Riverwatch. Come out and see many different bands that play here. These guys play here a lot. They'll be out here. I believe you even have a Sunday Fun Day show.
We have a Sunday
Yes,
Fun
we
Day,
do have
July 16th.
Great times.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Sunday Fun Day is always a lot of fun. Get out here. Get out and see these guys. Check them out on their website. Check them out on Facebook. Guys, thank you. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank
I
you,
know you got to
Ron.
get set up.
Yes, sir.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Doug,
Pleasure, man.
nice meeting you.
RCP.
Out.